Hello, welcome to the Colourful Creativity podcast. My name is Caroline and this is episode 157. You can find me online everywhere as Kralalien, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Ravelry, Patreon, Ko-Fi. I think that's about it, right? I have a web shop, colourfulcreativity.nl or colourfulcreativity.com. And like I said, I'm also on Patreon. I have a really small community there. Just for you, if you want to support me, my channel, and the things I do on Instagram and online everywhere. Just as a little extra. You will get early access to the podcast episodes. And there is a monthly chat, a nice sit and knit online group, and there is also a discount, so you get 5% off for the shop. So that's the perks of Patreon. Besides that, you're supporting me, and like someone said very nicely, now I can support you without my house filling up with yarn, which I think is very cute. But yeah, there's only so much yarn we need, right? I do not have finished objects. Let me just say that. It has been a fairly busy time between the podcasts. That's why this one is a bit late. I was still recovering from the throat infection from the last time. After that came the snotty nose and everything. You do not want to see that on camera. The washing machine broke. My phone gave up. So all those tiny things that have to be managed, fixed, a new one has to be found, and it just takes a lot of time. So I didn't have as much knitting time as I had hoped. So I have here my first work in progress, the biggest work in progress, and I have a lot of progress because it now has a sleeve. This is my husband's sweater, and every time he tries it on, he's like, I don't want to take it off. It's so nice, but I have a cold arm. Yes, I know, I still have to knit it. So I am almost halfway through the second sleeve, and somehow the second sleeve is flying compared to the first one. Probably because the first one I had to, could you please try it on again every couple of centimeters? Is this long enough? Is this long enough? And every time it was like, no, this is not long enough. Damn it. So it felt like it was never ending, but for the second one, I know how long it is, so I can just zoom and go. He tried it on last night because I wanted to see if the sleeve cap and everything fit. And it fits like a charm. And it's so pretty. And somehow I stopped in the middle of a row because of course people don't do as I do as I say. That's how it works here. I'm keeping track of all my decreases in the sleeve with stitch markers because I like to see my progress. I think it's very rewarding to have that whole thing of stitch markers in there. Yeah. What shall we say about it? The yarn I'm using is Lana Grossa Country Tweed Fine. And as far as I know, it only has a number. It is color number 105, and it is a gray tweedy yarn with bits of blue, darker gray and lighter gray. And the sweater is turning out really, really pretty, even though I really, really, really hate the pattern. What can I say? I am knitting this from Lana Grossa Men, number 9. I'm usually not a fan of those branded magazines because the size inclusivity is fairly shit. And Robert liked the sweater on the runway last year, so I was like, okay, I'll just knit it for you. I got the yarn, etc. at the yarn store that hosted the runway show and everything. Yeah, it looks really good. It still will need a zipper, but I'm almost there. It's in German. It is knit in pieces and seamed up. My German knitting is not the best because patterns not written in English are just difficult. They use shorts for everything, and it goes for Dutch as well. I just really, really hate it. So what I did, basically, I knit it in a round instead of in pieces and seam it. I did a fake seam on the side. You can see probably here a little bit. I just did a slip stitch every other round. Then I went flat for this bit. The sleeves would have been flat and then seamed as well. But what I am doing, as you can see here, is just knitting it around. I picked up the stitches here. I calculated how many I needed from doing it from the other side. They were bottom up flat and then seamed sleeves. Not gonna happen, definitely not. But I did a sleeve cap with short rows. I figured it out and I just did something. The first try was not successful, but the second try is very successful and it's really, really pretty. So I'm liking the sweater, but it's definitely nowhere near the pattern. It's totally, totally different. I am knitting these with high sharps, 4.5mm for knitting it around, 4mm for knitting flat, and 3.5mm for the ribbing. So there's a whole lot going on at this sweater. And I will be really, really happy once I finish this, because I know Robert is so knit worthy and yeah, he really deserves a nice sweater. So let me move the stuff so hopefully the sweater will fit a little bit. I really need to buy or to make, probably. I have so much fabric. I need to make myself some big sweater bags that actually zip and can handle yarn plus an almost finished project. This one doesn't even have the yarn in it, just the ball I'm using and the leftover ball from the other side. The rest of the yarn is completely somewhere else. This is a sweater weather bag by Tenny Cassie, and yeah, I was hoping it would have fit, but yeah, as you can see, it really doesn't. It's a great bag, just not for a adult sweater size. Then my next project in my beautiful fall leaves bag by Hobby Bags is progress on my latest cast on. The Schoppel Zauberball Stärke 6 DK sock. Look at that, people. Look at that. I'm already at the toe. I have been measuring and hoping, and then I tried it on yesterday and I was like, yeah, I'm really at the toe. So let me show you this side. I did the gusset decreases. It has a slip stitch heel, and it is really, like the name says, Kunterbunt. So very colorful. It sure is. I really love this colorway. And what can I say about these? I am knitting these on 3mm needles, higher sharps, of course, and I am doing 56 stitches because it's a DK sock, and it looks like my plan has worked. That it is a fairly tight gauge. I haven't measured it, it's probably around my usual. Wait, my usual is on 2.5 millimeters, so probably not my usual, but for this thickness of yarn, it will be tight enough. If you like what you see, this is a shop sample, so check out the shop. If you want some Schoppel Zauberball, I have some nice colors in stock. So that's project number 2. And then I also have project number 3 in the Fluffhunter bag, which always makes people chuckle. And in here is my Valgus sock. Pattern is by Jennifer Roshinsky. And this is where I'm at. I have just done basically the cuff. I started it. Here's the yarn. No rainbows without rain. Also still some left in the shop. This one is on soft sock. And these are knit on higher sharps, 2.5 millimeter. But this is way more interesting. I have nearly finished sock 1. I have put in the toe, which means that it is no longer a flat sock. Well, on this side it still is. But here we have the sock almost neatly put together. I have to seam the sock still, and I still have to knit the heel. I am waiting to knit the heel because I want to do it at the same time. So if I do change things for depth or something, then I can just adjust it at the same time on both. If I do it now, and since this sock is not knitting itself and it's going really slow because the focus is on the sweater, I know what will happen. My notes will not be clear enough and I will not know what I did, so I will end up with 2 different heels and you know what happens. Not okay. So I'm waiting for the heel to do the other sock at the same time. Contrasting yarn is Hellow Yellow, also one of my colors, and I think that's all I have to say about these. Progress has been made. That's also everything I did knit-wise, so if you think this is going to be a short one, think again. Because I have acquisitions, because I was at the Breidagen, and I also have a clip from the Breidagen, which you will see all the way at the end. I just did the voiceover of it. Might not be the best voiceover because Binks came and he started purring so loudly I could hear it on the voiceover. Yeah, he is now fast asleep because he was so busy purring at the voiceover. He needed to be in there too. So yeah, what is next? Let's see. Acquisitions. But where do I start? I'm gonna start with this because this is just cute. Not per se knitting related, depending on what you do with it. But I thought it would be nice to show you for inspiration maybe. I was at Sotrene, Grene. I have no clue if I pronounced that correctly. Probably some Scandinavian people will now scream murder. I got some Advent stickers and I thought they were really cute. So if you want to make yourself or someone else a Advent calendar, then you can buy these gorgeous stickers. They were like 94 cents. For me, they have the prices on the back in a lot of different countries. So here you can see. And maybe you have that store around as well. So I thought I would give you that. Something else I got at the same store was this cute little tin. I just couldn't help myself. I love little tins, and this one's just too cute. Look at that. Perfection. It's a little bit bigger than my regular tins, so the inside pretty straightforward, but it's a little bit higher than my normal tin, which is nice because currently my normal one isn't closing, because I just have a little bit too much of stuff in there. Oh well, it's very Christmassy, so I might just change things around after Christmas again. But for now, I really love it and I'm going to use it soon. Then, let's start at the acquisitions. I will start with these because I was at the Breidagen, like I said, and I came home with lots of nice goodies. Here I have some mini bats by Dutch Wool Diva. I just cannot resist those. I'm looking at some of the fiber, like, is there a nap in there or is it from being in my bag just like this? But it looks like it's a few naps. I thought this would be a nice combination somehow. Maybe 4 minis, making it into 4 mini skeins and then have something for color work. This one could be added as well. This is just really my color. I really love that color, so I couldn't resist take that. Next up is this gorgeous skein of zebra sock. Zebra sock, not zebra zuck. No, it is zebra sock by Samelin dyeworks. Here is the card. A lovely Melinda, and this is Wild Zebra number 49. And it is just a beautiful skein of yarn. And I saw I wasn't the only one who loved this, because the lovely Leontine that I also met at the Breidagen got exactly the same skein. I saw that in her podcast. So that was very funny. I was contemplating 2 different skeins. I was like, this one, that one, this one. And I went with this one. So great minds think alike or something. Let's put it back in the bag. And here is the next bag. Everything here is always in seal bags because I'm just paranoid about anything coming in. I just do not want that. It happened once, never again. The next skein I got is a 100% BFL from Spingodin, and the colorway name is Waterjuffer. I have no clue what that is in English, to be fair. So it has really nice deep rich tones in teal, but also some yellow, orange, yeah, some purple even. I just really love it. Absolutely stunning. I have another skein not too long ago from a destash from Spingodin. No, this one first. This is by Boredom Kills Design, and this is their BKD BFL sock, which is a BFL superwash 80% and nylon 20%. Here you have the label. And it doesn't say what the colorway name is, but no, I don't remember it. I saw this yarn on their Instagram and I was completely in love with the colorway right away. I mean, it's that minty green with neons in it. I just absolutely love. So I'm just a sucker for neon speckles, especially on a pretty base color. See what I mean? Here we have speckles on a light blue base, a bit of periwinkle. It has orange and yellow and pink and greens, and just absolutely gorgeous by Undercover Otter. This is the Squirm base, and it is Wicked Little Things. Those of you who follow me a million years know that I've already knit with this, and I just needed a refill on one of my favorite colorways of Undercover Otter. So this is an 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. And this is my absolute favorite base, Squirm sock, which is the same as my soft sock. Yeah, absolute favorite base to knit everything in the kitchen sink with. Maybe it will be a bit leaky for a kitchen sink, but okay. So that definitely is already it for acquisitions. I think that was enough. I did some damage. And then of course there is the after movie, just a tour around the Breidagen. I filmed a lot of stands. I also had to skip a few because they were just too busy to come even near or to go through the narrow pathway that was there. I was seriously amazed with how freaking busy it was. I saw quite a few people. I made a few selfies, definitely not enough. I will put also those selfies in here. I think I have one with Lana, the lovely Kaya, Leontine of the Navy Knitter, Carmen, who is New Leaf Design, and she was there and published her first book, and it was the big ta-da moment for her. So that was really fun. Of course with Aiden and with the lovely Anna of Pantoffelschnecke. And saying that, I'm gonna have to run to the kitchen now. I knew I was forgetting something, but I just couldn't find it yet. It was in the kitchen on a safe space, because it's not as good as yarn. It's breakable, let's just keep it at that. And then I can also show you this, because I got this stitch marker from Leontine of the Navy Knitter. It is her logo, which I think is very cute. And Anna had brought me a gift. Look at that cutie. A little lamb on a mug. And there was also this beautiful Halloween stitch marker. Come on, focus on it. Yes, thank you. And this a cute little pouch that was tie-dyed. And I guess it's a nice notions pouch or a yarn sleeve, or just for a teeny tiny project. Like a 50-gram ball with something. So thank you very, very much, Anna. Am I forgetting anyone in the selfies? I don't think so. It was just sometimes too busy to even chat with people behind the stands, the sellers. So yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna wave and walk by, and that has to be it. What else? Shop news. The gift box. I have already sold quite a few, so thank you very much for liking my idea. I have dyed the yarn partially already. I think I can pick up the candles in an hour, so that will also be fun. I have already seen them. We texted a lot with photos, and no, I would like that, and no, I would like to change that, and maybe we can do do it differently. So yeah, I'm really excited to see them in real life instead of on photos. I will not close the sales on that when I start shipping. It will just be a ready to ship item. After that, those boxes will also be great for birthdays. They are not necessarily Christmas or anything themed. It's just a nice gift to give or to get. What else is there? Yeah, not much actually. I think I'm gonna let you experience how busy the Breidagen were. I keep repeating myself in that, also in the voiceover, how busy it was, but it really felt like this. I was like, oh, okay. The train ride home wasn't very different. There were train cancellations, and the one I had planned to take was going, but all the others before and after were not going, so everyone was crammed into one small train. I was very fortunate to have a place to sit, but lots of people didn't, so they were in my personal zone, standing in the pathways and everything, and I was like, I want to go now. I'm not used to that anymore. So many people so close to me. I guess this was the first, yeah, I went to the Knit and Knot, which was a bit more quiet than the Breidagen was. I'm just not used to peopling after COVID, or, well, we're not really after COVID, are we? I hear lots of people being sick again, so I'm feeling very lucky that I didn't get sick after the Breidagen. Fingers crossed for that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that footage of the Breidagen. Let me know in the comments if you have any plans for yarn fairs, or if you are still like, nope, seeing this, I'm not going. I can totally understand. I have no clue when I will be going again. I think I've had my fair share in the past 2 months. For a while. I'm good not being in a crowd at the moment. Yeah. And with that, I guess I'm gonna say goodbye, because the personal stuff was already said. We have a new washing machine. Not much else has happened. Thank goodness. I will see you again next time. Bye bye. Here you see Anna of Pantoffelschnecke. This is Leontine, the navy knitter. Aiden of Undercover Otter, of course. The lovely Kaya of Lana. And I finally met the wonderful Annika, who finished my crochet blanket for me last year. And here we have Carmen. And this is her new book. Starting, of course, at my favorite stand, Undercover Otter, my wonderful friend Aiden. And you can see Nix and Jack hard at work. And Aiden waving at us. Look at all that beauty there. All the rainbows, all the colors, all the neons. Oh, I just wanted to take everything home. Look at this gorgeous neon rainbow. And also there in an embroidery floss. Oh, just heaven. Across from Undercover Otter was Cross and Woods, but it was so busy I didn't go into the stand with my camera. And then there was Stoffen and Stixels over there, also super busy. And there's Lana, the lovely Kaya and Andrea, who I traveled with by train going into Zwolle. Here is Recht en Averecht. Also gorgeous yarn and beautiful colors, and as you can see, pretty busy. It was really busy. I'm gonna go here. Here were some, it's called a fashion clip, and you could use it to close your cardigan or your shawl. I had been meaning to buy one, but it was just too busy. Every time I went there, it was full. More gorgeous yarn. I think that was the stand of MDLN from Belgium. And that beautiful shawl there was a design by Kaya. And it was a real surprise for her to find that. Then we have Schaap en Draak. Lisette waving at us. On that side is Ab Mesga. Also beautiful yarn. And if you can hear purring, Binks just joined me. That was the stand of Likke, I think. And next to them is Zwolle. Zwolle has more rustic yarns. And again, just big rows in front of it. Just have to walk through all the people. This stand was called Schaapjeswol. And on that side, it was, I think it was Wools of Holland. And the stand I do not know the name of. Just can't read it. And there is Frog Mouse Creations, also with beautiful rainbows. On the other side is Ross of the Wee Yarn Company, and here was a bit space, so you can see those beautiful yarn balls and those Harriet Tweed project bags. And of course the gorgeous yarns Ross dyes, also rainbows and neons. There were also some very cute stitch markers and more yarn and needle cases and more project bags. Absolutely lovely. More great stands. The Draadzaak. They have a lot of vegan yarn. And there we have Dutch Wool Diva and her helper. And gorgeous fibers. And some of the mini bats that I got. Magazines, needles, and beautiful yarn. And on the other side is more beautiful yarn. And as you can see, lots and lots of people. There is Atelier Het Wolbeest. Very busy. Beautiful yarn. All the blues and purples up to pink. And Christmas yarn and just beautiful. Across from them was Atelier Lindelicht. They also have beautiful yarn and felted things. And on this side, I think it was bats and threads. Beautiful yarn and fiber. And there is Spingodin. Also gorgeous yarn. And well, you know, I already got one. And she is spinning away on a spindle of Studio Spintel. And there's more beautiful yarn. And her mother is knitting, because there always has to be knitting, right? Here was an Italian vendor. And there is bad Katu yarn. Also all hand-dyed yarn. Pretty busy around the stand. There was the workshop area. that was a big Lang Yarns store. The Hobby Gigant. I think it was mostly Lang Yarn. There was Amazing Wool. And there is Boredom Kills Designs. They were putting up some extra lights at that time. There's Valhalla, the beautiful sock yarn store. Definitely, if you want sock yarn, you just go to Valhalla. Just beautiful yarn. They also had someone with a sock knitting machine doing demos. So really interesting. And then we're walking into the stand of Melinda of Samelin Dyeworks. There she is. And there is the beautiful yarn I bought. Was from that rack. There's what Woolly. A stand with a lot of crochet, special and more. And on this side was Loco Porella and also beautiful yarn, all hand dyed, really, really pretty. We're walking into the second part of the building. There's also always two halls, and this is actually the one where you come in completely at the other side. I started in the middle of the second one. On this side is Studio Spintel and Foxy Fibers. As you can see, it's still pretty busy, so I'm just raising my camera so you can see things. That was a big stand with all kinds of haberdashery. There was another Italian yarn. It is a bit crowded. This was the stand of Koperdraadje, which was basically all the time 3 people deep rows in front of it. That was so super busy. The big stand in front of us where I have to wait to even get through is Caro's Atelier, which is a big commercial yarn shop. They really have a great assortment. And then we're gonna swing over to Wool Hobby, the lovely Linda. Here it was elbow work as well to get into it even. Linda's just having lunch. Has to be done too. It is always difficult to eat when you are at a stand. So here we have a few stands I do not know the name of. They had gorgeous Emma Ball project bags, as you can see. And those also had beautiful samples with Lana Grossa yarn. And you can see Studio Spintel again. Just gonna walk over to some of the yarn by Brechtje. And also they had the Twister, which is a handy tool you can put around your wrist and then you can just walk around and knit. I was very tempted because I'm a bit of a freak with novelty stuff, but yeah, I didn't. I don't walk around knitting a lot. Beautiful bags by Studio Berengoed. I have no clue if I pronounced that right, but they had lovely bags. And next to them is the Breibrink, they have a lot of coop knits and fiber spades yarns. A really nice assortment. And then there, the big stand is Vol met verven. You can see super busy. And there's the entrance. Also beautiful colors.